Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry about my voice, I'm like losing my voice. Yeah, so I first want to apologize for that, and I also want to apologize for any noise you hear in the background. As I said before, it's summertime. The kids are home for summer break, and also the air conditioning is running in the back, so that's kind of what that roaring sound you hear. But I realized going through my videos that I've never done a fabric haul, and I tell you guys all the time, a lot of times I buy fabric and I don't use it right away, and it just sits. And then I'll buy fabric for my tutorials, and I buy fabric for my business and for, you know, like the custom orders and stuff that I do. So I'm just going to show you like a stash of fabric that I've had. Some I've had since fall and winter, some I just recently purchased for spring and summer to do tutorials with. So I'm gonna get started with my knits because I have less of that than I do my delicate fabrics like my lace and my satins and my like printed fabric and stuff like that. So let's get started. Okay, so what you see here, and I'm not really gonna unfold it too much, but this is a knit fabric stripes, and I'm just going to open this up a little bit so you can see through that possibly, and you see my hand. So this is more of a lightweight fabric. If you're going to make a dress or a skirt out of this, I would suggest you do a lining or wear something underneath so nobody sees your lady parts. But I love working with knits, and this doesn't have this is a one-way stretch. I'm like thinking of other things while I'm doing this because it doesn't stretch this way, but it stretches this way. So if you're going to make like a skirt or a top or a dress, you want to use it on the side where you have the most stretch, because when you put it on, you don't want to have it here and then it doesn't have that give, because then you'll get upset that you made this garment and it's not fitting right. So again, this is more of a lightweight knit, and these are good for pretty much anything, but like I said, this is see-through, so if you make something with this, you want to use a lining or make sure you have something underneath. In the summertime, of course, I like to wear a lot of tanks. As you can see, I have like a little camisole up underneath my tank top, just to have that layer, and also because if I know something's see-through, I don't want anyone seeing my ladies here, so I cover them up with my tank top or camisole. So that's what this one is. And I got this from Joann's, and I'm sorry for the smacking. My mouth is really dry from my medication. This is another knit fabric, and I don't know if you can see that, but the gray part of it is shimmery, and this is really pretty. I actually bought this to make a dress for autumn, and this is another kind of see-through material. So if I make a skirt for her, either what I'm going to do is make her wear shorts, which is what I do all the time. She just wears shorts under her dresses and skirts, and she hates it, but hey, I'm old-fashioned. So that's another one, and I really like this, and I don't have the name of them, I'm sorry, but I did get these from Joann Fabrics. And here's another knit. This one's a little thicker, it's a little heavier. This was in this section for like active wear, for like yoga pants and workout pants and things like that. So this is a little thicker material, and again, it's only a one-way stretch. So I can't remember exactly what my plans were for this. I think I was going to make some shorts, some like cotton shorts with this, and this is really nice. And like I said, this is more of a heavy weight fabric, so this can be used for like yoga pants, shorts, tops or something like that, active wear, anything like that can be made with this type of fabric. And as I say, people, when you're working with knits, you want to make sure you're using a zigzag stitch or some kind of stitch that has that stretch to it, because when you sew knits together and you use a straight stitch, it tends to be really tight. I know this because when I first started sewing, that would happen to me all the time. I would just use a regular straight stitch, and then I go to put something on, and either I would hear the seams ripping or it just wouldn't go on because it was so tight. So with knits, you always, or any stretchable fabric really, you always want to use use a stitch that stretches along with the fabric. So this is another fabric, and this pile here with all these knits came from Joann's, if I didn't say that already. This one is like more of a medium weight. It's a lot, not a lot, but it's thinner than this, but it's thicker than my lightweights. So this I was actually going to make a tank top with, but when I buy knits, I always buy more than what I need, because there's always a use for knits in every season you can use knits for. So you just have to learn what you want to make with them, what looks good. When I look at fabric, when I feel fabric, I tend to think about what I can do with it, how it will look, and go from there. So like with these lightweights, like I said, these I actually purchased for Autumn, and I was going to make her a dress out of one and a skirt out of the other, but because they're see-through, I have to make sure that she's wearing something underneath. Even if I gather it, I still want to have her have something underneath it, because you can see through it. So let's finish with this one. I'm going to put my hand through just so you can see how this is. But like I said, this is more of a medium weight knit. And I thought it was so pretty because, you know, some people call this burgundy, some people call it I don't know, brick. It's kind of like a brick almost color, but it could go for burgundy, whatever you choose to call it. But yeah, that's what that's for. I was going to make some tank tops and stuff with these, but these can also be used for dresses, skirts, shirts, shorts. Like I said, leggings is another thing that you can do with all of these knits. Actually, it depends on how you feel with the ones that are see-through. You may not want to make like pants or what do you call that, leggings with it, just because you can see through. But if you're fine with that, go for it. This is one last fabric that I got from Joann's, and my intentions with this was to make her like a pretty, just like summery day dress or something. And this is slightly see-through, and off the bat I don't remember what they called this fabric, but it's kind of, it doesn't have a stretch. It's not really, I don't know, it's like a peach, what they call peach skin satin, so to speak, and it's really soft, and it's got that kind of furry feel to it, which is why they call it peach skin, because if you eat peaches or you've seen a peach, you know it has kind of like that furry, like fuzzy kind of feel to it, and that's what this has. It has that kind of soft peachy skin to it, and it's not silk, so I believe it's like a satin or rayon polyester blend, possibly. Like I said, I bought these a while ago, so the freshness is not in my memory bank of what it was, but I do believe this was a mix. So when I store, we'll talk about that. I'm not going to get into that right now, but this is another fabric that I got from Joann's, and now that I'm talking about it, I believe this is a polyester rayon kind of blend. This is a blend fabric. It's not 100% cotton or whatever. So I got all of those from Joann Fabrics. So if you have any questions about anything that I've showed you so far, go ahead and ask. We're going to move along, and everything I'm about to show you now came from fabric.com, and all of you may know that I shop at fabric.com a lot because the prices are better than anything I've seen, and there are not a lot of huge fabric stores, like warehouse stores here in Michigan. I did find one, well, there is, but I don't feel like driving to Grand Rapids to just go get fabric. So yeah, we have several smaller types of fabric places, and of course Joann's, but when it comes to price, for me, I like to get more for my money, so a lot of times I'll buy certain things from fabric.com just because I know it costs less. And just recently in Birmingham, Michigan, they built a store, it's called Fabric Land, and I did get the fabric I needed for my niece for her prom dress. I got it from there, and they have really good prices, and they have like, it's like a warehouse more so than just going to like Joann's, where it's just like a retail store. I like purchasing from more warehouse stores because I get more for my money. That's just me. You can do what you choose to do. So this is Satin Charmeuse, and I hope I'm saying that right. And this is silver. My intentions for is this is actually going to be fabric that I use in my business, for items that I will be selling in my Etsy shop. I love the feel and the look of this satin charmeuse. It can be elegant and dainty and just cute for little girls. And what I'm using this for is to make a dress with. But you'll see all of that once I have uploaded everything to my Etsy shop with this. And again, this is a satin charmeuse, and I got this from fabric.com. It's really soft. I love the feel of it. It's one of those slippery fabrics, so this is where, when you're working with this, one of those techniques that I showed you, when you're working with spandex and like slippery fabrics, you either put a piece of tape underneath your walking foot, or you can put the tape down on your lower feed wheels. Brain loss today. on your feet wheels, or you can do the trick with the tissue paper. That's what it's called. I'm so lost today. Hey, okay, and next we have another satin fabric. This is not a satin charmeuse, I don't believe, but this is just a satiny. I'm sorry guys, let me look and see what this is. Oh, this is actually a polyester lining, but for me, the weight of it and the feel of it can be used for like a skirt, like a heavier type skirt. You can make this like a A-line type skirt. I would use this for, or like a heavier kind of, you know how you go in the stores and you have some satins that are really flowy and silky and dainty, and then you have those that are really pretty but they're a little bit more firm for like proms or after 5 type things. That's what this is. And this can also be used for a lining, so if I wanted to make like a circle skirt and give it that extra stiffness underneath so it pops out a little bit more, this is something that I would use this for. And you may find me saying I can't remember, or I don't know what I bought this fabric for, because when I buy fabric and I don't use it right away, I don't remember. And in my mind I think that I'm going to remember because I'm going to use it right away, so I don't write down on top of, you know, my fabric with sticky notes of what I'm using it for, because I say to myself, I'm going to remember what I purchased this for, and I never do. So that's just a little piece of me. And this is another satin charmeuse, and this is actually called Cranberry. And again, this has the same soft, silky, kind of flowy feel of the silver that I showed you, or gray, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is. And then we have a ivory satin charmeuse, and this is so pretty. And I do remember now that I'm talking about it, I do remember now what I got the ivory and the silver for. I don't remember what I bought the cranberry or the peach for, so that's that. So moving right along, I do have more lining fabric, and this is just, again, a polyester lining that can be used, like I said, for more of a like stiffer type dress or skirt, something like that, or you can use it for a lining. This color is champagne, and I bought this as a lining for a champagne color lace that I purchased a couple of years ago that I still haven't used yet. I have 3 yards of it, still haven't used it, but yeah, that's what I purchased this for. And it's just like a silky kind of basically this is silk. I'm so lost today, guys. You have to excuse me. I'm trying to rush through this before the kids wake up and make all that noise. But this is a silk lining that I'm going to use for a dress. And all of this stuff basically is things that I'm making for my shop. So like any other designer, when you make something, you have a muse. And my daughter is my muse. So all of these items will be made for her. This will wind up all in her closet. So yeah, that's that. And my voice is going. And this is a really pretty kind of what they call mesh. I'm going to open this up just slightly so you guys can see. It has like flowers on it, and it's really pretty. And I purchased this to make like, oh, and here's what the bottom of it is kind of scalloped, if you can see that. I purchased this to make a dress out of, or the top part of a dress. Again, can't remember. And now we have here, this is a sequins fabric, and that's ivory, and it has a slight pattern maybe that you can see on the back with the stitching, and this is like a really stiff fabric, and this I was going to use to make the bodice part of a dress. Again, we have another, just like that ivory that I showed you, we have gold, and this is sequins fabric. And then the same, we have this light pink color, or pink, whatever they called it, I can't remember. And as you can see, these are see-through. So when I make these for the bodice part of the dresses, they will be a lining underneath, and that's probably why I bought majority of these linings to do that. So let's go over to this lace. This is what they call Giselle lace on fabric.com, and the champagne color lace that I was telling you about is this Giselle. Now it's a tad bit pricey for my taste, but when I think of lace, I want a soft, silky, kind of stretchy, more so like underwear lace, lingerie lace. And I love working with delicate laces. I tend to steer away from the more stiffer laces because they don't flow the way I want them to flow, and I know this is really soft. It's so soft on your skin. When you rub it up against your skin, it's so nice. It feels good. You don't have that itch you get from the more stiffer fabrics. So I like working with the Giselle lace that I purchased from fabric.com. Now sometimes I'll switch over to another, they call it something else, and I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's just as soft as this Giselle, and the price is just slightly lower than this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I paid $13 per yard for this, and like I said, that's kind of pricey, but when you want quality, when you want something that you know it's going to last and it's going to look the way you want it to look, you tend to spend a little bit more money than you want to, because you want that quality and you want that feel that you're going for. So I'm going to try my best to show you again, because it is white. It's so pretty. Gosh, it's so soft. I love it. And this, I can't really remember again what I bought this lace for, but all of this I'm about to show you now are linings. So this is just a peach polyester lining, kind of like that white that I showed you. And let's open it up. And it is kind of see-through, so if you're going to try to do this for like a skirt or a dress, I would suggest doing a lining underneath, but this is a lining, so that's what this is for. And I purchased this to go up under a few tulle skirts that I'll be making for adults and kids. So that's what that is. And then we have a white, which is the same polyester lining, and then we have this. Now this was the closest color in lining that I can find on fabric.com that would be close enough to my cranberry and my burgundy tulle that I have. So there you have it. And it's sometimes, I didn't fold it like this. Is exactly how it came out the box, so that's a little wonky, and I'll be refolding it. And then we have this silver to go with the silver tulle that I have, and then we have this mauve color, I believe it is. It's called Rose, and I was trying to find a pink in this same kind of polyester, because when it comes to linings for me, as long as it's like a polyester, a silk, or a satin, I tend to spend less on my linings. But I know I purchased these linings before, and I believe these were only $1.98. Some of them were $2.98, but when it comes to lining, that's about all I want to spend, unless it's a thicker lining that I know I can use to make a skirt or a shirt or something like that with. But when it's just lining like this going up underneath like a tulle skirt or something, I want to spend less. So these were really in my price range. I love these, and it's really not stiff. It's not, I mean, it has a little firmness to it, but it will still go along with the flow of the tulle skirts. So that's what that is, people. I can't believe I never did a fabric haul, and you'll probably see me doing more fabric hauls, But one of the main reasons probably why I didn't do one is because sometimes I buy retail and sometimes I buy wholesale. So when I get the boxes in, I just tend to take them out the box, making sure that I have my full order, looking over everything, making sure it's the right fabric for me and the project that I'm working on. And then when I buy retail, I just normally buy it because they're having a sale or because I feel like buying fabric that day, and I just push it aside. So that could be one of the main reasons why I've never done a fabric haul. So I do have more fabrics that I never use that I will probably show you soon, but these are the main ones that I wanted to show you because these are the ones that I use either for my YouTube videos or for my business. And most of the prettier, more delicate pieces of fabric that I've shown you are for my business, because that's what I'm going for. Now, how do I store my fabric? A lot of you have probably seen in my videos, depending on the camera angle, some of my fabrics, my tulle and chiffon rolls. You've probably seen those. Right now I need to do a complete organization of my sewing room, but when I store my fabrics, they come, especially my silky satin fabrics, they come in a plastic like this. I leave them in the plastic to protect them because with this being a main part of the house, the basement, the kids are always down here, you know, spiders are down here. You don't want cobwebs and things like that on your fabrics, especially when you have already pre-washed and pre-dried your fabric. You don't want it to get messed up again. So for my more delicate fabrics, I tend to keep them in their packaging, and it could be a challenge to store because not only is the fabric slippery, but these plastic bags are really slippery, so you want to make sure you stabilize them. So what I normally try to do is when I have fabric, I'm sorry, I just completely froze, but when you have your fabrics that are silky, I tend to put on top or on in between fabrics that I don't keep in the plastics, the fabrics that are like knits or like 100% cottons, because it'll help it stabilize and it won't be falling all over the place. Or if you have a better way to organize your fabrics, you can do that. Eventually what I'm going to do when I buy fabrics is putting it on like a bolt. It's basically something like this, a cardboard. This came out of the tool that I purchased. You could cut this in half, wrap your fabrics around them, and kind of store them like they do in the stores. That way, you know, it's neat, it's compact, and it's out of the way, and you can make more room in your sewing area if you don't have a lot of space, kind of like me, that you're working with. So if you have any questions about anything that I've shown you today, go ahead and ask me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it out with your friends. If you want to connect with me on social media, all of that is in the description, as well as some other fun things. You can check out my last video, and you can check out my family vlogs. If you want to see what we do on a regular basis, you can check those out. My website is as well as the link to my book and my Etsy shop. It's all available in the description. Again, if you guys have been trying to find me on Twitter, I am not Nika Womack on Twitter. Like I said before in one of my other videos, I looked my name up, and there's another Nika Womack out there apparently, and it's more of an adult based Twitter account. My Twitter account is mama_07, and that's my Twitter handle. It's MAMA_07, and that's how you can find me on Twitter. Everywhere else I'm Nika Womack, so you can find me that way on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. So I hope you like this video. If there's something you want to see me make, go ahead and ask me. If you're asking me to make something custom for you, I need as much information as I can. If you know, if you see one of my videos or you have a question, if there's something I can make for you, just you could direct message me anywhere and I'll respond to you. The communication has to be complete, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to call anyone out, but in order for me to properly make something custom for you, I need all the information I can, especially if we're not in the same state and I can't directly talk to you that way. I need to know all of the information as far as size, colors, type of fabric, you know, all of that, the length. I need all of that information so that I can properly make you what you ask for. So again, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more ones to come, go ahead and subscribe. Why do I always have a problem saying subscribe? If you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see all of you next time. Bye.